Hey, what's up guys? It's John with Revision Coatings. Super excited to come to you guys and talk about our removable auto paint. We're going to be doing a bunch of tutorial videos and such, but just to kind of give you guys a background of us, we've been in the removable space for many years now, doing customer cars and such. We have now manufactured our own paint to sell directly to you as a consumer, as well as, you know, get it out there in the hands of some shop owners and such. There's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be going over. Our paint, if I had to nail it down, is going to be a lot more of your professional grade look, but still usable by virtually anybody that wants to paint their car. It can be sprayed out of a turbine sprayer. This goes from our base coat to our gloss. We're going to have our own line of pearls, metallics, hyper shifts. Everything you can think of is going to be available. The only thing that will not be available immediately is going to be your sprayer system. You will have to have your own sprayer system initially, but we will be rolling those in the future, as well as, you know, other things like apparel, like our hoodies, our Revision Coatings hoodies and such. So today, for the tutorial video, what we've done is we're actually working on a couple of really cool projects. That we're actually working on my personal 74 Nova, as well as this, which is a 81 Corvette. So we're going to be restoring this car, and we're going to be using our peelable coatings to do so. Now, I did want to let you know a little bit difference between our coatings and some other coatings is the fact that it can be permanent or it can be peelable. What makes the peelable properties is the base coat. So if you have a standard car, for example, and you use 4 gallons of base coat, it's going to be peelable with the clear coat on top. But for this, for example, if we want to make this one permanent, which we probably will, it's going to be a lot more like your traditional style paint. What I like to do, the method I use, because I've painted many cars over the years, I've been doing this for over 10 years, is I like to go one coat past the color of the car. So if I'm doing this car in black, I will paint it black and then put one additional coat on just to ensure that I have full coverage. The reason you do that is because when you add clear coat, the clear coat is going to show you imperfections or, you know, bleed spots from underneath, like for example your primer color, for spots that just didn't get very good coverage. It will make it apparent when you put gloss on it and then take it outside. So I like to go one coat past, one wet coat past, when I think I have full coverage. It's going to ensure that I have a great, nice black coat down on here. So you're going to get to see a little bit of work being done. I'm going to be using a primer gun to shoot the base coat. That's another thing we're going to be showing you on this channel. Something very different than probably what you're used to seeing in the removable coatings world in terms of videos, is we want you to understand how to use auto paint. So we're going to teach you how to reduce it. We're going to teach you how to thin it down to the consistency that you want. We're going to show you that you can, based on the thickness of it right out of the can, I mean, it's very sprayable. It's very similar to everything else out there right now in terms of just basic sprayability right out of the can. But there are additional ways to get a flatter, smoother finish. Adding reducer, allowing your top coats to stay wet a little bit longer to smooth out any orange peel before you lay on your clear coat. So we're going to dive into all that stuff in future videos. We're going to have specific videos for everything that we do here at Revision Coatings. I'm super excited to dive into this project. All right guys, so we're getting ready to spray the hood here. A couple things I want to talk to you about in terms of the actual application. This is very important. Like I said, this is a lot more like your professional style auto paint. You can get an extremely beautiful finish with this material, but there are little secrets that you have to do. The first thing you'll notice is I'm wearing gloves. There's a reason why. You can remove stuff like this, but still, it's just good to do. I have a wedding ring on. I also have my watch that my wife got me for Christmas. But you don't want to put any fingerprints or anything like that on the paint itself. You don't want any dust or anything that's on your fingers falling onto the paint. That's where you get your nibs. Also, covering stuff up like that could potentially scratch the panel. When you're not paying attention, you swing your arm, you scuff the panel. Anything that could cause damage to what you're getting ready to paint and cause you to have to start over is extremely irritating. So now let's talk about actual application. This is my primer gun. I have a 1.8 tip set up in this. So how do you go about each coat? What I like to do personally is I like to put on 2 very light, just dusting tack coats on purpose. The reason I do that is because you have to give it something to adhere to. It has to bond properly. Anybody that's painted a car and ever encountered things like fish eyes or anything like that, guys, that's not just because somebody didn't like use primer or shot over clear. You're gonna get those regardless. If the panel is dirty, if you're going on too heavy too soon, you have to give your paint an opportunity to learn the surface that it's spraying on and really bond and adhere to it. So what I like to do for my first couple coats is I like to set the PSI pretty high. The reason why is you get finer particles. It's not going to come out like super thick, super strong. It's going to spray in a finer mist. The second thing I do is I actually have my fan wide open, but I have dialed the fluid in all the way. Like, it is all the way dialed in. There's nothing coming out. If I were to pull the trigger, there's no fluid coming out. Then what I like to do is actually open it up, only 2 fluid turns. That's going to give me the perfect amount of material, not too much, not too little. You don't want to spray on so light that it feels like sandpaper, but at the same time, you don't want to spray on so heavy that you're having to restart on your first coat because you have separation on your panels that's causing it to look ridiculous, okay? So, are there ways to fix that if that happens? Absolutely. Yes, there are. There's a few ways you can do it, but it's just never fun to do it that way. Start right. Clean panel, clean hands, clean clothes. I've already sprayed myself off with the air to get all the dust off my body. Blew off the panel. Hands are covered. This gun is set. 2 fluid turns out at about 27 PSI. As I say 28. Pretty close. So let's dive into the project. Let's get started. The first thing you want to hit on any panel when you're doing it separate like this, always hit your edges first. So the hardest to hit edge areas. Not only that, but there's a reason for that as well. When you actually hit the panel first and then hit your edges, what you're doing is you're actually doing 2 things. You're building up a really heavy layer right there on that corner, which is not good. It could potentially lead to runs. The second thing you're doing is you put a beautiful, nice coat on there. Then what you do is you hit all those edges, and half of your spray pattern, which is going to be up in here, is actually kicking overspray all over your panel. So as it dries, may not happen on the first coat, but after coats build up, you can get a very sandpapery feel on the surface. And that's what you don't want. Everyone wants a beautiful paint job, and we want you to have a wonderful experience. So how you do that is start on your edge work first with a proper setup, and then hit the actual flatness of the panel once you're finished. So let's dive in. All right, so we're getting ready to start hitting the actual panel itself. But as you can kind of see here, there's overspray from hitting this that falls onto the panel. That's why we hit the edges first. Remember, the first coat is just a tack coat, first and second coat. That's what I mean by a tack coat. It was extremely light. You can already see that it's drying very quickly. That's a good sign. What that means is you're not giving it enough time to hit, stay wet, and cause separation, or what most people refer to as fish eyes. I call them silicone spots. The reason I say that is because most of the time that happens from bad bonding due to some type of silicone or something sitting on the surface. So drying very quickly is great in your first couple coats. So like I had said, I like to do 2 coats like this, and then my third coat will be a medium tack, okay? Still a tack, but just a hair heavier. After the third coat, you should have pretty dang good coverage. But like I said, this is removable auto paint. I mean, yes, it can be used for permanent as well. We do it for both, but that is based on the amount of product you put on. It's a process. It may take you from start of the day to the end of the day to paint your car. But I don't think that anybody at the end of the day would argue that what they want is a good end result. So take your time, don't rush. Like for example, it's fairly dry. If I wanted to, if I was silly, I could immediately start hitting this right now and just shoot into it. If I was doing a full car, absolutely, because by the time I get around to the end of the car where I started, I mean, it's fully dry. But right now, I definitely want to make sure that I have given it time to dry. There's solvents in the paint. I mean, you just want them to evaporate and really take their time to settle in. So we're going to dive into the next coat here in a couple minutes. We're going to give it time to properly flash here for a second, and then we're going to dive in. All right, we are ready for our second coat now. I've already blown off the panel to ensure that nothing has fallen on the panel. This is actually, I didn't even explain this to you guys, this is actually one of our testing facilities, one of our testing warehouses where we do a majority of our spraying for videos and such, and then we're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. But yeah, you always want to make sure that nothing has fallen onto the panel, or as you can probably see over there in the distance here, we have a couple fans set up that are cut behind it to draw air in with filters on the other end of them. It's just always good to have clean air, but the thing is even with everything that you do, even in a professional paint booth like we have at our other shops, the thing you have to realize is that dirt and dust are everywhere. You're never going to control it all. It's about minimizing the opportunity for mistakes. Yes, you can do this in your garage. That's why we set up this booth. We want it to look as much like a garage setting as possible. Let's dive into the second coat and start painting. All right guys, now as we are waiting for the second coat to fully dry, first coat was the tack coat, second one was just slightly heavier, which is good. Then the third coat's gonna be more of a medium tack, so it's gonna be just a hair more wet than even this. This has only been sitting for literally a minute and a half, so, and it's almost dry, so that's good. Now, as we start moving into our heavier coats, this is when we will actually apply our mask. Yes, we are literally right by a vent area that's blowing air out of our face, but it doesn't matter. This is a great time to put your mask on. I would say always be safe. Safety is important. But yeah, we'll apply our mask. Now, what I like to do from this coat moving forward, this is when you're diving into like your very, very important coats. Smooth, flat finish, very good looking coats. Here's what you're gonna wanna do. You're gonna wanna tack off in between every coat. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, by the time you get around the car, you should be, you know, perfectly dry anyway. All right, so as you can see, we put on a much heavier coat this time, but after looking around, we had great adhesion. It seems to be sticking absolutely perfect, and that's what you want. We knew that was gonna happen. We kind of know the process of how it works. So to re-hit on that, it's your first coat is gonna be your very light tack coat. Your second coat, still a fairly light tack coat. You're just dusting it on, giving it something to stick to. Then after your second coat, you tack off the panel, and then you can put on more of like your medium wetter coat. If you see any irregularities, you can choose to tack it off if you want. It's really up to you. There's a few times, and there's times that I don't tack it or not tack it. It's totally up to you. Like I said, what I like to do, I'm wearing gloves. I'll run my hand on the panel, see if it feels smooth. If it doesn't, then I'll tack it. It's very similar, a tack cloth, to those of you guys that have never used one. It's very similar to that of like a clay bar, what a lot of people use over clear coat to get all the dust and stuff off as they wash the vehicle.